10. Competition is for sissies. One of the greatest lies perpetuated by mankind is the idea that competition is good. Good for whom? Exactly. It might help provide customers with choices, competition would, and would compel others to do better. That's true. Competition is probably good in athletics because it makes another guy run faster. However, in the business world, you always want to be in a position to dominate, not compete, if you had a choice. Even in athletics, I'd rather dominate if I own the club. If the old saying, competition is healthy, if that's even true, the new saying is, if competition is healthy, then domination is immunity. Immunity means I never get sick. I'm not at risk. From what I've seen, competing with others limits a person's ability to think creatively because he or she is constantly watching, competing with what someone else is doing. The reason my first business has been so successful is because I created a sales program that introduced a truly original way of selling for which there was no competition. It was a new way, a new thing. It was clearly a new way to think and a new way to approach selling. So people found that interesting. Now, in addition to that, it also worked, okay? No one had done anything new with selling other than just copy or compete. By the way, copying is competing. No one had done anything new with selling for more than 200 years. So I ignored the competition, actually threw away everything else I'd ever read on selling, and did something to create a new sales process called information-assisted selling. Now, this is back in the 90s, before the internet. Giving people information at that time was not really part of selling. It was about avoiding. This was before net, before customers had information readily available, before Google searches, before social media. But I predicted that sellers would have to throw away the old way of selling and learn how to use information to assist the sale. Although I was ahead of my time and traditional thinkers resisted, once the internet hit critical mass, information-assisted selling became a way of selling for many industries, and my competition was left holding on to antiquated systems and processes. What they do? They started copying me. Copying is a form of competing, and competition is dead. I came out on top because people were thrilled to see something completely new. Forward thinkers don't copy. They don't compete. Forward thinkers create. They also don't look at what others have done. If Steve Jobs with Apple Computer, and this will date the book sooner or later, if he looked at his iPad for what other people had done, he wouldn't have created an iPad. Never make it your goal to compete. Instead, do everything you can to dominate your sector in order to avoid spending your time chasing or competing with someone else. Competition is for sissies. Domination is where you want to be. Don't let another company set the pace. Make this your organization's job to set the pace for the whole sector. Stay ahead of the pack. When I'm driving down the interstate, I speed. I break the law, and I definitely do speed. Why? Because I don't want to be driving with other people. I want to be way out ahead, no wrecks out there. Make it so that you want others to chase you. Be out ahead so others try to be like you, not the other way around. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't study others. You should study best practices, industry trends, what's working, what's winning. However, you want to make it your job to take those concepts to another level. For example, Apple makes computers and smartphones. It didn't copy Dell, IBM, RIM, and what others were doing. Apple doesn't compete, it dominates. It sets the pace, and it lets others try to chase and duplicate them. See, they're always chasing, trying to catch up. Don't set your goals at a competitive level. Set them at a domination level. Set them at a level that will overshadow and dominate your sector and everyone in it. How do you dominate? How do you do this, you may wonder? The first step is to decide to dominate. Man, if you're thinking about competition, baby, you can't dominate. Then the best way to dominate is to do what other people refuse to do. Step 2, do what others refuse to do. That's right. Do what they won't do. Do what they say, that's not right. You can't do that. That's not going to work, okay? You want to do what other people, your competition supposedly, will not do. This will allow you to immediately carve out a space for yourself and develop an unfair advantage. Let me be clear. I want an unfair advantage. I'm ethical, but I never play fair. I want an unfair advantage if I can create one. Though I am always ethical, I never, ever play fair. I seek out ways in which I can get an unfair advantage always. And one surefire way to get an unfair advantage is to do what others will not do. Find